YouTube should say we're live. Good. Here we have the... Alright, I think we should be good. Hey guys, and welcome to our very first episode of H-Bit Gaming, or History Bit Gaming. Today we're going to be checking out, as you can probably tell from the picture on the screen right now, the Nintendo Entertainment System. We're cheating a little bit because we don't actually have a original Nintendo, but we do have the NES Classic. So that's going to work instead, because we can actually at least play some of the games. Originally tonight was going to be us checking out Atari, because that's technically the first system we have access to that came out first. But due to technical difficulties, we're jumping ahead to the NES, and hopefully by next week we'll be able to cover the Atari 2600 like we were originally planning on doing. So, my name's Steven, and my co-host here is...
I'm Jules, and I am not very good at video games.
So, this should be an interesting thing. We have a bunch of different games. We have 30 that we can try. If any of you want to see any specific games for us to play, just comment down below and in the chat, and we can try to make sure we get to those if we don't get to all of them tonight. Yeah, so which do you think we should start with?
Let's start with Super Mario.
The original classic Super Mario. This was the first one that was released, I believe?
Yeah.
That came with the system? Alright. Oh, I forgot about that. So you have to actually hit select in order to toggle through them.
I know. I tried to click A before, and I realized that you had to click select or start.
Yeah. Oh, man. It brings me back. So this is the first game system that I actually owned myself was the Super Nintendo. But I had a family friend that owned an NES that I played every once in a while. So it's bringing back those kind of memories still, but I'm not as familiar with this system as I am with, ironically, the Atari, even, because my grandpa used to own an Atari, and I'd go over to his house and play all the time. But,
my first system was the Nintendo GameCube. I got it when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old for Christmas. And all I played was Mario Kart Double Dash.
It's such a good game. We're definitely going to get to that one at some point too, later on down the line. We have quite a few systems to check out, so it's going to be a fun 10 weeks or so.
I ended up, we found the Atari, the original Atari, in my dad's basement, his childhood home. So I do have that too, but I didn't get that till we were maybe 16 years old.
Yeah. I forgot how you couldn't go backwards in these older Mario games. Like,
yeah,
it automatically scrolls forward, and then you just can't go anywhere but to the right.
Are the controls still similar to like modern games where like A is jump, B is an attack of some kind, or?
Yeah. Usually the B button is whatever power up. Hit the wrong one. Oops. I think you can still do... It's like a cheat to get up here. I forget how to do it. Nope. Come on. Nope. Oh. Get out of here, Koopa. Okay.
Koopa. I always played that character in Mario Kart. That's always Koopas.
Yoshi's always been my favorite. For some reason, I don't know if it's just the controller, but you used to be able to like slide through there by holding down as you were running to the right, and for some reason it's not working. So I don't know if it's either the newer games, like the newer remakes of them, because there was a remake of this released as Super Mario All-Stars. It had this one, it had Super Mario 2 and 3, I think, and a few other ones. But they were like remastered versions. I think that's one of the earlier, at least the earliest one that I can recall, the earliest version of a remaster for any system. Because that's kind of become a trend nowadays, is they'll remaster the same games for like the newer systems. But I think that's the first one that I can really think of off the top of my head, at least. That the earliest example of a game being remastered and with better graphics and different controls. Oh, I forgot that I should be Fire Mario right now, but because I was small, it only gave me like the equivalent of a mushroom, which they changed in different versions of this as well. Get out of here, Spiky. Oh, no!
You almost died.
Almost. Well, I got this. I got this.
I'm not going to be as good as you are.
Dang it.
By any means. I'm definitely going to get killed in the... Oh man, is it my turn?
Yep.
Oh boy, alright, here we go.
I fell into a pit.
Here we go.
Death pit!
Wait, how do I... Okay, there we go. I jumped on him. This is laughable. Wait, no, I lost it, because you can't go back.
I remember doing that all the time as a kid. It annoyed me so much.
Wait. How do you get up there? There we go. Nope, and I died.
That was good placement though, right in between the two of them.
This shows the expertise between your gaming and my gaming.
Oh man, it's because I have no life, especially as a child. So like,
when we play Double Dash, get ready.
I spent all my time. Oh, how did that not kill him? I hit him from underneath. Thought that would at least flip him or something, but no.
I'm the Rainbow Road Pro.
Rainbow Road is always where... Wow, those points were laughable there. Yeah, Rainbow Road is always... The way me and my friends play is... Doesn't matter what happens before Rainbow Road, that's all just icing.
It's just Rainbow Road.
Whoever wins and gets first place on Rainbow Road takes it all. So... This system was originally released in 83 from Japan, right? In Japan it was 83, and then it took 2 years to come over to the US?
It took 2 years to come over to the US. Wow. It was redesigned from the Japanese version, which was called Famicom. Oh, it's my turn. Yay!
I paused it so you wouldn't run out of time. Yeah, it was originally released as the Famicom in Japan in 83. And obviously was followed by the Super Nintendo in America and the Super Famicom in Japan. Which, fun fact, I learned the other day while doing research that you can actually play Super Famicom games on a Super Nintendo.
That's cool.
As long as it's not like a PAL version. Like if it's a North American version of a Super Nintendo, you can play it. You just have to make sure you swap out, because the cartridges are actually different. Mm-hmm. So I guess they figured nobody would really swap out the internals in order to try to play it on the Super Nintendo. So they didn't bother region locking it until the European version came out. But I actually have a Super Famicom game that we can check out once we get to the Super Nintendo episode.
I died again.
Those Goombas are vicious, man. They are super vicious. Alright, let's see. Let's not fall. I think they changed the... I can hear the fear in my voice. I think they changed the... not gravity, but like the physics of running and how quickly Mario can change his direction in the remaster as well, which is... I'm not completely sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. It just may be that I'm just rusty at the original.
Game over.
It died. Well, rest in peace, Mario.
Wait, why did you die but I didn't die yet?
We each have separate amounts of lives.
Ah. Just gonna run as fast as I can. New tactic.
Oh man, I've seen some speedruns of these games where it's ridiculous how pixel perfect
goodness.
They have to be in order to not die when they're going like super fast through. I forget what the world record for some of the speedruns are, but they're crazy out there.
I will not be holding any of those records.
I do want to try speedrunning at some point for some games.
I did it!
Yay! Actually, while you're playing anyway, since I'm dead, let's see. So yeah, this console was released in the United States on October 18th, 1985, and this game came pre-packaged with it, I believe.
Mushroom!
And being the first Nintendo system, it actually brought video gaming back from the brink of extinction.
Yeah.
That's kind of melodramatic to say it like that.
No, but it's true.
It is. The Atari was releasing so much shovelware and so many like bad games that people got really disenfranchised with video gaming for a while, and then Nintendo was the one that really brought it back, which is kind of funny because originally Nintendo started out as a trading card company, and then kind of dove into the video gaming system and like single-handedly revived home console video gaming. So this is the system that really originated a lot of their classics like Mario, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, even Final Fantasy originally came out. Alright, take that, and then I guess since we both died, let's go on to another game. We could just get the 3 different Mario Brother games out of the way at first and then go on to a different franchise.
Alright, let's do that.
So Super Mario Bros. 2. Fun fact about this was originally not a Super Mario game.
What game was it?
Doki Doki Panic, I think, if I remember correctly. It was just reskinned into a Mario game for the US release because the original Super Mario Bros. 2 was exactly like the first Super Mario Brothers, except harder. And Japan thought that US citizens couldn't handle the harder version. So they released this instead, and it's a reskinned game, like I originally said, that allows you to play as multiple characters. That's part of why it's such a different play style and idea than a lot of the other Mario games.
Ooh, this is weird.
Yeah. So instead of killing enemies just by jumping on them, you actually have to like lift them up and throw them at each other, or throw them off. So you can like lift these, throw those at people. And this is actually where a lot of items from, I think it was Super Smash Bros. Melee that first introduced them, but it might have been Brawl, where you can like, playing as Peach or down B, is you can like, I think it's our down B. Ow. You can pull those different vegetables and stuff out of the ground and throw them at people. Oh, no.
Dad.
Rest in peace, Luigi. I think this is... Yeah, that's right. It's technically a single-player game as well. But what we can do is after I die, I'll give you the opportunity to play with full lives.
Okay.
So also, with this one, depending on the character you choose, they each have different abilities. So Luigi, this is the first game where he can actually jump higher than Mario, which has remained through most of the other games. He's kind of more floaty, and he can actually jump higher than his, I think, older brother? I placed that wrong. Technically, I think this all takes place in a dream world, if I remember correctly.
His jump kind of reminds me of the modern Yoshi flutter.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
They kind of like kick their legs in the air and float up in the air.
Princess Peach in this game, if you hold down the jump button, she can actually float around for a limited amount of time before she runs out of that. I think Toad is faster than the rest of them. And actually, so I don't know if we'll manage to get all the way to it, but there's oh no, probably not. There's later on in the apparently you have 3 lives. There's a desert level later on in the game that has the first enemy that ever gave me nightmares as a kid. There's a jar that you can go down into that's like larger than it looks, kind of like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. And there's this mask thing that looks all innocent. Well, it doesn't really look innocent. It still looks creepy, but it looks like it's not going to be an enemy. It just kind of sits there and doesn't do anything. And then as soon as you pick up the item, the key that you need from inside of the jar, it comes to life and starts chasing you down. And it leaves the jar if like you leave and follows you. And that thing, just being chased by that thing, always creeped me out as a kid. Oh, no.
Save yourself there.
Come on, Luigi, stop it. Okay, there we go.
I don't think I ever had nightmares from a video game character as a kid, but I definitely didn't like when I used to play Mario Party on GameCube, and there were 3 Koopa kids. They would turn from like 1 into 3 of them, or 4 of them, and that always bothered me, because it'd make it so much harder to beat all the games.
Nope. Oh, you die? It doesn't scroll down so you can save yourself? That's stupid.
Alright, here we go.
Probably that's because technical limitations on the original Nintendo, but still. Yeah, I guess just continue. And I think you get to choose, I think it might be start button. Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, you get to choose who you want to play
Is this
as.
Peach?
Yeah, it's Princess Peach.
Peach is brunette.
She is brunette in this one. I don't know if she's technically Daisy in this, actually. I think it's supposed to be Peach, but I
it's
could
like
be wrong.
A little bit of both, it looks like.
Yeah, it's like an amalgamation of them.
Alright, I'm already... How do you throw them?
If you jump on them...
I died already.
Yeah, if you jump on top of them, you'll kind of stay on top of them, and you can hit the B button to pick them up.
Alright, let's try that. Got one. Nope.
So yeah, you either have to throw them into each other or use different items that you pull out of the ground.
Oh my gosh, wait, look. I can run through the wall.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep doing that. There we go, I'm back. How do you get into here?
Up on the D-pad. So actually, another fun fact about Princess Peach is her original name was actually Princess Toadstool.
I did know that. That was one of the few facts I did know.
Which a lot of people have used for evidence that the new, I think it's for the Super Mario Bros. Wii U, whatever remaster for the Switch. You can play as Toadette, and she can get the crown that turns her into Peachette. So some people are saying that using the whole Princess Toadstool thing as evidence that Peach actually was once a Toadette that then either wore the crown for long enough that she fully assimilated into being a humanoid thing, or Toadette could be the next princess of the kingdom over time or something. I don't know.
What do I do with this box?
So that's a POW box. This is the first time this ever appeared, and like in any other game that it's appeared since, if you use it, it kills everything on screen, or it does damage to everything on screen.
Can I just carry it?
Yep. It'll also be interesting to see...
Whoa.
Yeah. Just mass murder all of those poor little Shy Guys. So some of the enemies have actually reappeared from this game in other things. The Shy Guys are pretty popular in most Mario games, but a lot of them just never showed up again. The little vulture-looking things.
I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay. Those never reappeared. So yeah, I think you can float with her by just holding down the jump button.
The one thing I noticed is the Shy Guys are one of the few characters that look the same as in modern times.
Yeah.
The only thing that really changed is their color.
Yeah, and I think it actually might have changed to be darker red in the remaster of this game, which we'll see eventually when we get to the Super Nintendo episode, because the Super Nintendo has remasters of all these classic Mario games on it that we own. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference there is between the coloring, but also just like the pixel sprite art.
How do I pick up the POW box?
Same way you pick up the enemies, B button.
That was kind of a waste, but I wanted to throw it.
It's still fun. It's not a waste, but it's fun. Oh, and some of the Shy Guys are darker red. I forgot about that. So yeah, those vulture things, they kind of look like they're wearing a mask. Because they have like a... You know what they kind of remind me of?
What?
The Plague Doctor masks. See how they have like a little black stripe going around them?
Yeah,
it looks like they're
bit.
wearing a Plague Doctor mask. I never made that connection before. Also, I think you can get, if you go up that area,
Oh, you can go backwards in this one.
yeah, which I think is also available in the third one. But yeah, if you go back to the left and up there, the one all the way to the right allows you to do a door.
Wait, I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Got scared off the edge by the Shy Guy. I also like that, forgot to mention it earlier, but the dodge that you did when you were first falling.
I'm trying so hard.
Yeah, the climbing mechanics in this are kind of wonky. I think part of that might just be the controller as well.
Yo,
Yeah.
door.
If you go inside the door and pick up that mushroom, you get an extra health bar thingy. Oh, and it fills it for you too. That's nice.
Cool.
I don't remember if there's a maximum amount.
Oh, I just floated.
Yeah.
No, and now I died. Alright, last time. I'm just gonna avoid all you. Just see how far I can run. I like the, nope.
Right off the edge.
Alright. I like the way she flutters, though. That's very similar to Yoshi.
I think Mario is the only one that made it out of this one alive, because he's the only character we didn't use. Alright, so that was Super Mario Bros. 2. So yeah, like I expected, this doesn't have the actual Super Mario Bros. 2, which was later released, I think only on the remaster package as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels.
That's cool.
I think that's what most people in America know it as. But that was, yeah, technically the original Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. So this game I do have a lot of memories with the remastered version, because, like I said, Super Nintendo was my original, like, the original system that I owned. And it has a 2-player game on it that I used to play all the time with... Oh wait, maybe it's not on this one. Okay, yeah. I still used to play this with my older sister at the time, all the time. But on the remastered version, there's also a mini-game one, which I think is a remastering of the original Super Mario Bros. Or I think it was just Mario Bros. Where it's the entire thing, there's not different levels like with Super Mario Bros. But it was, it all takes place in the sewers. And there's enemies that will come out of different pipes, and you have to hit them from beneath in order to flip them, and then you can run into them and kill them, and it's basically just that and collecting coins that you get from doing that. We used to play that all the time as well. And we would always start out trying to help each other and survive as long as we could, and then by the end it would always devolve into us trying to be the last man standing and screw each other over.
What are you now? Are you like a raccoon, Mario?
Sort of. So this suit has actually, I think, appeared in other games again as well, but this is the first appearance of Tanuki Mario, which a Tanuki is kind of like a raccoon, but it's there's basically I think it's mythological, but it's from Japanese lore where they're kind of like raccoons, but they're smart and they have different magical abilities, I think.
They float, apparently.
I don't know if this is actually the Tanuki suit. I think the Tanuki suit comes in later on because you can hold down and press B or something and it'll turn you into a statue, which is one of their supposed powers. Oh, it's shaped like a 3 because it's the 3rd game.
That didn't even dawn on me.
This one was weird too because there's a lot of hints that this is actually just a play that's being put on, which also is a concept that kind of came back into play later on in Paper Mario and like the later Mario games like that. Oh, weird.
What's going on now?
So this is what I was talking about, where it's the Mario Bros or whatever. But basically, I guess in this version they had it where as long as you both are on the same stage, it drops you into this. But basically, you want to hit these guys from below like that to flip them, and then you can just kind of kick them by walking them into them, and you get coins for doing it.
How do I hit him? Oh, I died.
I think this is a way that you can steal. So see how I have a star card thing down there?
Yeah.
If you get 3 of the same thing, by like at the end of each level, you can get a new one. You get 3 of the same thing. I think it gives you 1-ups, if I remember correctly. But I guess, yeah, it's when you enter a stage that the other person is on, it automatically throws you into that thing. But what's nice about this one is there's more freedom to which area you go to. So like once level 2 here is beaten by either of us, we can both pass through and choose if we want to go to 3, 4, or just skip those stages altogether and head towards the castle.
I'm really feeling those little things that look like worms in the map. They look like little dancing worms.
I always did like the aesthetic of this. Come on. The aesthetic of this game. It's very colorful and everything, but I don't know, there's this like suspension of disbelief to it too, where it definitely does feel more like a stage play. There we go. Oh, no, come on. No! I don't think
Can you use the cloud?
No, I think that's just a background. I also like how everything has eyes in these games.
Like the little worm things.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're bushes, but they look like worms to me.
Come on, Goomba, stop coming out of here. I'm trying to get enough speed to fly. Alright, screw it. I'm not even gonna bother going for that. I think this is the first appearance of the Paragoombas too. The ones that can fly with the little wings.
Mm-hmm.
No?
I see piranha plants too, but those were in the earlier games too.
Yeah, I think their design changed slightly where they have the more rounded heads and they can kind of move. Because there's multiple types of piranha plants. There's the ones that have the rounded heads like that. How did that not hit me? I'm not complaining, but how the heck did that not hit me? So like now you can go to either 3, 4, or the spade thing, or the castle, I think.
What is the coin?
Those, I always thought they were something else, but I think those are just like individual spots that you get sent back to if under certain conditions, or just like kind of connecting parts that aren't actually levels.
That was so quick. You're carrying the team here.
So these, if I remember correctly, this is like a matching card game type thing that you can get bonus items from.
Oh, that's what I should have played then.
You gotta time it right. Oh, moment of truth. Come on, mushroom.
No.
No. so close.
See, that one I could have done. That's about my level of skill.
And there's, so those ones and then the little mushroom house things don't actually take up your turn. Because every time you beat a level, it'll actually alternate to the next person in line. If you're on a 2-player game. Which I actually sometimes used to play as a kid by myself as 2-player, just so I have more lives and more tries when I inevitably died later on the harder levels. Especially when my sister was busy doing real life stuff, because she's like 7 years older than me, so like she didn't always have the time to spend with young me.
I have a younger brother, and whenever we used to play video games...
Are you kidding me? That block just screwed me over. It just shoved me into that Paragoomba. Called shenanigans on that.
Alright, where am I going?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's cool.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna go to 4 again.
I always hated this side-scrolling levels like this that
What?
automatically made you have to go to the right.
Alright, well that was really good. This is a whole 2 seconds.
I mean, to be fair, I always ignored this level as a kid because I hated it that much. So I don't blame you at all for dying there. Like that.
I also don't like the side-scrolling levels though. They have those in all the modern games too, and I'm just not good at them. You have to keep up with a specific speed, and especially someone who's not good at games. That's not something super easy to do.
Yeah. How did I not hit these? That's weird. I think there's like a hidden thing down here too. Yeah!
Mushroom!
Wow, the blocks do not like me at all in this game. That's the second time one tried to kill me.
Now you're in a cloud world.
Yeah, there's those slightly pinkish versions of the music blocks, music note block things will send you to like a little bonus area like this. I forget what happens when you get 100 coins. I think it's an extra life like with the newer games too, but...
I think you're right. I think that's one thing that is the same.
Also, another thing that I realized in this one as we're playing, so see how there's that little bit of a flicker towards the edge?
Yeah.
Oh, I always hated these guys.
Does that mean you're close to the end?
That is, I think, a side effect of the way that the pixels and stuff like that were processed on the original Nintendo system. I forget exactly what that was, actually. While you're playing, let me look that up real quick. Because there's an actual name for it. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, I forgot we have cheat codes too for some of these games. I don't know if the Mario ones actually had any cheat codes, but...
Pick a box. Its contents will help you on your way.
Oh yeah, this was the other, that's the other thing about this game is the first Mario game that allowed you to actually have an inventory. I think it's up on the D-pad? Maybe B?
It was B.
Okay. That's not how you spell Nintendo at all, it's noir. Okay.
Alright.
Nintendo.
On to level 4, I guess.
Called a loading scene. I forget why it does that though.
No! I was doing so well.
What got you, the pit, the bottomless pit, or the...
The bottomless pit.
Here, look into the loading scene, because I forget why it does that. I think it's the way that the pixels are, like the ratio and the resolution. That's the word I'm looking for.
I'm looking on Reddit, and then we're gonna see what Reddit says.
Oh, I almost fell into the lava. No. Oh, dang it! I forgot. Ah. It's not until the Super Nintendo Mario games that you can actually use the tail whip to kill those things. Man, I lost my opportunity to get the warp whistle. If you fly up above where I got hit by the skeleton Koopa thing, there's like a secret hidden area that you can get a warp whistle that'll allow you to, depending on the world level you're in, you can warp to various other levels throughout the game, kind of like the warp pipes from the original Super Mario Bros. Alright. So you can skip level 4 and go straight to level 5 if you want as well.
All of these are videos explaining the loading scene.
That's annoying.
I don't want to watch a video.
Yeah. It's your turn. So I can try to do some research and see if maybe...
Level 4, my old friend. And I'm dead again. I don't give you enough time to do anything, man. This game has a lot more lives than the other ones.
Yeah.
It seems.
I think, yeah, you start with like 5 of them, I think. This is also the first Mario game that has an inventory system where you can get items and use them on this main map menu, and like go into the next level that you choose, powered up by whatever that item is.
Cool.
I forget exactly how to use them though. But yeah. So you can actually skip past level 4 and just go straight to level 5. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, the other piranha plants are in this one too, where they're just the stationary ones that pop out of the pipe like that. Various colors. I think they've pretty much always been red since this point, though. I don't remember if there were any other more modern games where the green piranha plants showed up. Or if there are weird ones, it's usually like Super Mario Sunshine, where they're like different versions of themselves, as opposed to actual piranha plants, and the polluted versions or whatever. Oh, screw you. I'm Tiny Mario again. Missed that twice. Alright, there we go.
Want to try another game?
Sure. Unless you want to get through this first world first. We're almost to the castle.
Alright, we can do that. Let's get to the castle and hope I don't die. What is this little guy walking near me in?
That's a Hammer Pro guy, which if you beat him, you get an item from a chest, I think. It's like a random item. I don't remember if it's random or not. But you basically just have to run underneath him and like hit him from below or jump on top of him without getting hit by the... There we go. Nice. Ah, the star.
Is that a card now, or no?
No, that's actually one of the items. So I think it's the select button that allows you to use items on this screen, if I remember correctly. But basically, well, viewers can't see at home, but pointing at the screen, the area down at the bottom that says World 1 and has all that info, that'll flip over and show you the items that you have available to you when you're on the world screen like that. Alright, and yeah, I'll, after we're done recording tonight, or live streaming tonight rather, before the next episode, I will look into what causes the loading seem like that. Oh, dang it.
I'm actually really interested in that now. I know it said that it's only seen on modern TVs, but that's about all the information I got out of that.
I think because a lot of the CRT TVs that, the older like 4x3 TVs that most of these systems were made for.
That was quick. You can't see it, but I am lowering my head in failure.
I think you have unlimited continues though in this game, as long as both of you don't die at the same time or something, if I remember correctly. So that's always nice. Start button, I think.
Start button? Not start button. Oh,
select
button.
I have to do it? That's weird. I'm first player. Why would it have me control that? I could be like, no, I don't want you to play with me anymore. I think my sister used to do that all the time to me, actually. Where like I would die and instead of hitting continue, she'd hit end. So then she would just be playing and I'd be like, really?
Is she older or younger?
7 years older.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
She used to do, like, yeah, we used to mess with each other like that a lot. Especially growing up. My other sister is actually 10 years older than me too, so I'm literally the baby of the family. It has its advantages, but...
I'm the other way around. I'm the older sibling, so I used to always kick my brother's butt in all these games.
I started to, once I got just old enough where I had no, like, real-life obligations, so I could practice all the time, but I had enough coordination to actually start getting good at them. Because there was that time period where I was just too young to really have enough hand-eye coordination to pick them up at all. And then, oh, you started with 4 lives. Oh, that's right, I think I picked up an extra life. So I guess you start with 4, not 5, like I thought. Oh, this is the matching card game. They appear every once in a while at random. I think you have 3 tries before it ends, if I remember correctly. Nice.
Hey!
That was that
This one,
yeah.
right?
That was, yeah,
This one.
right there, and now they're all unknown. Nice. First try. Oh, you only have 2 tries.
You only have 2 tries
That's
to match
weird.
all those cards? That's
Yeah.
difficult.
Well, whatever you do match before then, you actually, so you got the one up, so you have 5 lives now. So I think, actually, press select real quick. I think it's select? Maybe it's start.
Neither.
B? There it is. Okay, it's B. So yeah, you did get those items from matching the cards.
Cool.
So if you wanted to, instead of being small Luigi, like, use, the star ones always seem kind of pointless to me because you start with the invincibility star, but it wears off so quickly that, like, unless you have, like, a very specific reason to use it, I always used to save those or replace them. But, like, the other ones will basically give you that power-up going into those levels and just last until you get hit or die.
Alright, I'm going into the castle. Oh, he's a dog.
Huh. That must be different in this one, because I remember the king being transformed in the remaster of this, but I think it was, like, into random enemies, like the cobra snake things and other stuff like that. I don't remember him ever being, like, a random dog. That dog also kind of reminded me of, the dog from Duck Hunt.
Oh. Yeah, really good job.
Cannonballs.
Is that level just avoiding things?
It's basically the boss level of the game, so now it's spawned the ship up at the top right. So instead of having to go back to the castle, you have to go wherever the ship is, which can be good, but at the same time, if it's like behind levels that you don't want to have to beat, like if we hadn't beat either of those levels up there, we would have to beat one of the levels before we could get to the ship again.
So I just messed it up for all of us.
But luckily, we already beat that level, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's basically avoiding stuff. Can
you jump on the wow, what are those called?
Cannonballs
The
and bullet
cannons.
bills, yeah. I think most of these things you can jump on. Also, another thing I remember about these games that was kind of nice and kind of cheap at times is like if you're standing right next to one of those bullet bill blasters or like the pipes that have the so if I'm standing right here next to it, it'll never spawn another one until I move away enough.
Huh.
I don't remember why it does that, but it's the same thing with the piranha plant. Whoa! Buddy.
Got it.
No! Yeah, I think you have to hit him 3 times. How do I have 99 coins? Exactly, 99 coins. Damn, I was gonna say something, I completely blanked on it. Same thing with piranha plant pipes. If you stand directly next to it, like literally touching it, they won't pop back out. But I think it only works when you're on either side of it. I don't think it necessarily works when you're on top of it.
I was just gonna ask, what if I'm on top of them?
I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's only when you're on either side of it. Because they can still pop out from underneath you and hurt you. That was a crazy dodge. That like skimmed the top of your hat.
Aw. Well, I got farther than I thought I would, so I'll give myself some credit on that one.
Yeah, you made it all the way to the boss. Good job. I think this is the first time that the Koopa Kids ever showed up too, actually. Forgot that I had an item I could have used. Dang it. Yeah, I think this is the first and only time for a while that the Koopa Kids really showed up.
Now you just stood on like the rim of the cannon and it shot one of the balls out and it automatically gave you the 100?
Yeah.
If you just stood there, would it continuously give you the 100s?
Yeah. Why did it go the opposite direction that I needed it to go? Yeah, as long as you're positioned in a way that it'll hit your feet, like as if you were jumping on it.
So you can just stand there and get more points?
Yeah. Especially on like levels that don't scroll, like auto-scroll like this. You could just get infinite points. Okay, there we go.
Okay, 1.
Out of here, Lenny. Actually, these guys reappeared in Super Mario Bros. Or Super Mario World.
Nice.
Can't believe I forgot they appeared in Super Mario World. Because they're the main castle enemies. Bosses.
What did you win? It looks like a match. Is it a
does.
key?
It's the magic wand. So in this game, you have to get the magic wands that have been stolen by the kings of each place to transform them back into their normal selves. Oh, thank heavens, I'm back to my old self again.
The king is cute.
Thank you so much. Here's a letter from the princess.
Princess Peach?
I think so. Also, I like how the toads are still there. Princess Toadstool. She's actually Toadstool in this game still. See any ghosts, be careful, they'll give you chase. And if you turn away, enclose a jewel that helps protect you. The power wings. So these basically turn you into raccoon guy, but you can like infinitely fly on whatever level you first use it on. So like if I were to go into here, see how like the P bar thing is constantly filled?
Mm-hmm.
I think it only works for the first one you use it in, but it's basically a free skip through the level, as long as you can like use the flight to your advantage. Because normally it would fade away after a certain amount of time, and then you'd fall back to Earth until you ran and got enough speed to fill that up again. But it's a really cheap and easy way to like get through a level that like annoys you. I always, as a kid, used this power-up on the level that's later on in this world. I forget which level exactly. I always saved it for the level that has the sun in the sky that, like, part of the way through the level comes down and chases you around. And, like, you basically just have to try to avoid him the entire time, unless you have that where you can just kind of bypass him. Might be level 2, actually, even. That's another one of those characters, though, that always scared me as a kid, because, like, you don't expect the sun to just come out of the sky and try killing you. I think these give you 1-ups. I don't think they give you the actual item. I think it's like, if you get the mushroom,
I failed.
It's a weird looking star.
I was trying to time it so perfectly. Like in physical arcades, when they have the game where the light travels around, I can win that almost every time.
Is this one? It might be. I don't think it is, actually. Alright, well, we got through World 1, so I guess let's reset and play the next game. There's bowling, there's multiple Legend of Zeldas, 2 different Castlevanias, Bubble Bobble, I remember Bubble Bobble, Donkey Kong, Arcade Classics series. I believe I have one of the Donkey Kong games for the Atari too, so it'll be interesting to see how much
difference.
Actually, screw it. Let's check it out. Since we were just talking about it anyway. There's A and B. I forget what the difference between those are. I guess we'll start with game A.
Okay.
So yeah, I believe this originally started as an arcade game and then was ported to the Atari. I don't remember if the ColecoVision had it as well, or if it was
This game brings me back.
just the Atari or not. But yeah, this is the first appearance of the power hammer thing, which is super overpowered, and oh no! Dang it.
Oh, you can't like bounce off of those?
No, you can either jump over them, or you can destroy them with the hammer. Yeah, you can't climb up the broken ladders, but neither can the... Oh, what? That's stupid. The fire can climb up a broken ladder, but you can't. That's cheap.
Aw, I didn't know you couldn't do that.
The fire guys are annoying in this game, too. But yeah, the POW Hammer is the most overpowered item in Super Smash Bros. Any of them.
Donkey Kong has evolved so much.
I know. And that's actually not even Princess Peach up there. A lot of people think it is, but that is Pauline, who hasn't shown up again until Super Mario Odyssey.
Where does Rosalina fit into the mix? Is that like more modern?
Rosalina, yeah. Rosalina didn't show up. No! Oh. That was close. Yeah, Rosalina was made for Super Mario Galaxy, I believe was their first appearance.
I would have definitely thought that was Peach. It looks just like her.
Yeah, I think the... Come on. Come on.
Go fast.
There we go.
Yay.
Nice.
Oh, this is so much more complicated.
Oh boy. I think this is also like the first technical appearance of... I forgot you died. Fell off of the... Oops. The first appearance of Mario. Which... I don't remember if it was this one, where his name was technically Jumpman instead of Mario.
I did read that. That was his original name.
Yeah, he was originally Jumpman, and then up there is originally Paulina. I'm not sure, but I've heard theories that the original Jumpman / Mario is actually the more recent Mario's father. I don't know how true that is, but it's kind of an interesting concept. Same way that, like, Donkey Kong has changed...
Dead.
Fell like a brick. The original Donkey Kong kind of changed over the years, and then some of the newer ones are actually, like, his descendants, supposedly.
I think they said, like, he's a plumber. He's supposed to be a plumber, correct?
Yeah.
I read that originally he was supposed to be a carpenter.
Oh, yeah, I do remember hearing that as well. The fire's like, nope, you're not going up those
Tears.
Alright, let's check out Game B, I guess, and see how that differs, if at all. Watch, it's just a harder version of Game A.
What time are we at, by the way?
It's a good question. We've been live for about an hour. Jeez.
We should probably call it after this game. Get a solid hour in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well...
No, don't die. I just want to get to the top. No!
Oh no! So yeah, this seems exactly the same as the other one. I don't understand why it's Game B.
Maybe after the first level it gets more difficult? Was oil on the bottom before?
Yeah, because that's where those fire guys are coming out from. I could get extra points by doing that. I just won't. Really? I was hoping it would go to the next one, the next ladder in line, but...
I love the sound effects, they're so funny. Little squeaks. I jumped too early.
Yeah, the timing of the jumping in this game always gave me difficulties. Like, I was never a huge fan of Donkey Kong, like the original versions of it, honestly. It's because I had a lot of difficulty with it when I was younger. I feel like it's gotten a little easier over the years, but...
I thought you had that.
I thought it was gonna pass me by, and it just decided, no, I'm gonna slam right into this guy's head. Rip. Actually, let's see.
Squeak, squeak.
Donkey.
How do I get the hammer?
Yeah, you just jump into it.
No!
Oh, that's so cheap.
I like how he gets a little halo when he dies. I was just about to win. Alright, which button do I click?
The one on the right, the reset, yeah. Okay, so yeah, Game B is apparently just a more difficult version of Game A.
I got higher up on Game B.
See, it's just a matter of practice. Yeah. Okay. Donkey Kong Jr. Let's play an actual two-player game where we're like both playing at the same time. I think Double Dragon does that, if I remember correctly. Because a lot of like the older games like this were two-player in that, but you still had to take turns. Like they weren't simultaneous two-player. This was 1989 that this was released. So 4 years after the NES was released here. I think play A is actual campaign and B is like versus, if I remember correctly. 19XX. Violence ruled the streets of New York City after the nuclear war. Alright. Billy and Jimmy Lee. Good. Okay, so A is punch and B is back kick. Oh, it depends on which way you're facing.
Wait, which one am I?
I think you're the one with the red pants.
Oh, I just got
So I guess that would be Jimmy.
Right.
So if you're facing this way, B is kick behind you. If you're facing the other way, A is kick behind you.
Oh, I don't like that.
I can kind of see why they did it, because like depending on which way you're facing.
Oh, it makes sense actually. Punch, 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 punch. Oh, you're dead.
I used to love beat 'em up games like this when I was younger.
Oh, they're coming from the ladder. Go. No.
Why?
Oh,
Wow!
I lost
Look
track
at
totally where I
my
was.
my lower body has just ceased to exist for a while there. Cartwheeling in. Man, I forgot how few sprites these older games could like handle at one time without graphical glitches. There's an upgrade? My whole like lower half was just disappearing into the wall.
I just kicked him in the face.
Oh yeah, you can use items, weapons.
How do you use weapons?
You have to pick them up after somebody drops them. Okay, both buttons together is jump. Forgot about that.
Oh, I picked up something.
A knife, I think.
Pew, 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 pew. Up.
I wish you could jump on the ladder, but no. They walk really weirdly when they climb too.
Alright, so far this one's my favorite, because I like beating people up.
Yeah, these are always classics. Even if the way that things look is kind of wonky, like...
Now I like it. I like that it's so basic.
The perspective on, like, is this supposed to be a road?
Oh my god!
Did you
I just fell off!
Oh no!
I was trying to pick up this thing!
Oh, that sucks. At least now we know
Boss?
that you fall off. I guess the music changed just enough to make me think it's boss.
Punch, punch. Punch, punch. Oh, you're dead.
Ow.
Oh, he picked me up.
There we go. Aw, you can't kick me down? What? What? What?
He can just evolve again. Punch, punch. Let's get him at the same time. Punch, 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 punch.
Oh no, come
Oh, he picked me up.
Dang it. Die. Uppercutted him into an invisible wall.
What?
I'm
Where'd
so
he go now?
confused. I think you have to pick up his helmet before he comes back. I think that's what it was. They're escaping in the chopper. He'll never make it.
Mission 2 at the heliport.
Go for broke, and broke is spelled wrong. B-R-O-A-K.
Wait, jump? Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. How do you jump? Both buttons?
Both buttons at once, yeah.
You have to press them pretty hard.
Yeah.
In the store?
Now we go down?
Yeah! Oh my god, that was my favorite moment of today. Was us just both doing that.
Excellence. I like how it's
Gaming
like,
excellence at its finest.
I like how it's like, yeah, go down. You have to leap of faith it, and you don't know which way you can actually safely descend. That's an issue a lot of these older games had, where they had you had to do leaps of faith.
What? The hell
Are
is
you
this?
kidding me? Oh, what?
Can I duck?
That was, wow.
Oh, I just died. I'm like out.
I think I just threw a grenade directly into that woman's face.
It's up to you.
What are these guys? Okay.
You have so many more lives left than I did.
To be fair, you did accidentally fall off an area that
many times.
you didn't think you could fall off of. It was like an insta-death. I like how if I hold up to try to climb, I just walk in place. What are these guys? They look like ninjas from The Simpsons. Why are they yellow? Oh my god, they are tearing me apart. Oh, stop! Damn you! Okay, okay. I'm gonna die soon. Why are they so overpowered? Stop flipping around like a shinobi. Alright, there we go. Everybody had to go. Chopper is getting away. Oh, man. Hold it! You'll never escape from us! That is a huge hand. I know that's supposed to just be perspective, but like, jeez.
It's a big hand.
That's like...
He actually has 5 fingers though, which surprised me.
Yeah. A lot of times it's more like just the 4 fingers. Oh, my legs are falling asleep. There we go. Alright, battle in the chopper. But yeah, his hand in that scene was like the size of his entire upper torso. What? Oh. It's because the door opened and the air sucked me out. I was like, why am I moving backwards against my will? Nope, nope. Do you have any other random trivia facts?
Let's see.
Or fun?
I feel like I do.
I'm sure we do. We've been so focused on the gaming that we completely like haven't even like paid attention to the history part, aside from like personal histories.
We're gonna ramble a little bit, but...
What? You can spin jump in the air? I'm just now figuring that out. How do you do that? How did I do that?
That's awesome. Alright, so... the most popular game on the NES we already played, which was the original Super Mario Bros. And to date, it has sold over 40 million copies. And it's the second best-selling video game of all time. I want you to guess what the best-selling game of all time was. Think really basic.
I would say Pong, but I don't think that was released for the NES.
It's modern.
Oh, it's a modern game that was best-selling? Tetris?
Wii Sports.
Really?
In 2006.
I would have like swore Tetris was up there too.
I would have thought Wii Fit out of all the Wii games, because everyone I knew had Wii Fit.
I guess Wii Fit was the one that you needed the special accessories.
You get like the board
thing that I think came with it, which that might have upped the price just enough that some people didn't want to spend the extra money on it. Plus, Wii Sports and Wii Play were like, I think Wii Sports came with a lot of Wii's as well, so are they factoring that in maybe too?
I don't know, probably is my guess. So then with every Wii they sold, that would count as just like as Wii Sports being sold?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Looks like Game B is the same as that one too, for that one.
And then another cool fact, so Nintendo originally reached out to the Atari company and they wanted to work with Atari, but Atari denied it and continued to make more of their consoles. And they failed with the 5200, and they also pretty much failed with the 7800. So that eventually, like the NES eventually caused Atari to wipe out, and that's why they're not in the market anymore.
Yeah, because I know that Atari was trying for a while, especially with stuff like the Jaguar and the Lynx was, I think, their handheld one. But I don't really remember playing any of them aside from the older Ataris.
You can go ahead with this one.
Oops.
I was going to say you could play single player, and I'll keep rambling into some facts.
Yeah. I accidentally press start and select. Wow, look at those guys.
I love it. I think it's cool.
This I remember being one of like the really hard games on NES, which a lot of them were like just needlessly difficult to kind of pad out game time, like the amount of time you would play them. But I remember this one basically being like, if you get hit twice, you're dead.
So, along with the NES and Super Mario Bros., in the year 85, the two other top-selling Christmas gifts were Swatch watches and Care Bears.
Swatch watches? Why does that sound familiar?
Swatch, like the company.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Get out of here. How did that not kill me? I don't understand how I'm still alive. Come on. Oh, come on. Why can I not run forward? Damn it.
Go player 2.
Yeah.
Also you.
Wow, they had unskippable cutscenes even as far back as this. I knew those became an issue later on in gaming's life, but I didn't realize they went all the way back to here.
Did you know in Korea, the NES was called the Hyundai Comboy?
Really?
So the same Hyundai or Hyundai as the car.
Yeah. Huh.
I didn't know. I wonder if it's the same company or if Hyundai means something. I don't know.
I just turned into a pile of bones. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm wondering why it was Hyundai. If it was actually...
Let's look it up.
The backgrounds in this game make me think of Pitfall.
Hyundai means modernity. Like modern.
Okay. So yeah, it would make sense that they wanted to associate their home gaming consoles with modern ideas, yeah. I'm getting tangled up in everything, jeez. Oh no! I wasn't ready! Go away, zombies. Out of here. Stop it. I do like a lot of the old school, like soundtracks and stuff for games too, especially considering how little space they had to work with on each game. Like, the fact that they could make entire soundtracks and fit the graphics and everything. How big were the original NES game carts in terms of... Oh, I forgot they loop too. As they go on the other side of the screen, you can see them loop on the right side slightly in that loading scene. But yeah, look up how big the actual, like... Because I think it was only kilobytes worth of space on the earlier NES carts.
I know that there was no like safe progress or any option like we have now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think most save games at this point were based on inputting codes, and most games didn't even have that. But even Atari actually, I think, had one game. I forget which one. I'll try to research it before next week's episode. I think Atari had like one or two games that actually had a save game progress feature. Oh my god, why is this game so needlessly difficult?
Alright, so it doesn't have info on the NES, but the SNES, it varied from 0.23 megabytes to 4.
0.23. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. Because, okay, so 1 megabyte is about 1,000 or so kilobytes worth of space.
That's so little.
And nowadays we have like literal terabytes worth of stuff. And like most games take up like, at least like the next gen ones.
Take up a lot of space.
Some of them that take up like up to like 60 something gigabytes worth of space, if not more.
I remember playing on my Wii U, and I had the lower gigabyte one. Maybe it was 2 or 4 gigabytes that I had internally, and I played one game and it filled it. And I had to get an external terabyte like storage unit so I could play more games.
Yeah. Yeah, I have additional like 3 terabyte hard drives specifically just to be able to like fit some of the games I have. So I have Steam and everything. So I have a lot of games to do that. Alright, Kirby. Let's play a little bit of this and then maybe one more game, and I think that should basically do it for tonight.
Kirby. I love Kirby. He's definitely, he or she?
Oh, hey, it does have a, okay, so this one does have a save game feature.
Cool.
Yeah. Let you play since I played the other one.
I have no idea.
That was a good call because that Goblins and Goblins is such a ridiculously hard game. I don't understand why they. I think. Oh, I think in this one to fly it's jump and then you have to hit up repeatedly to float.
Yeah.
That's so weird to me because all the newer ones are you just keep repeating.
How do you attack?
You have to either, I think, eat them and steal their powers, or spit them out at each other. Because some of them, like Waddle Dees, like those guys, I don't think. Oh no, yeah. So those guys give you beam powers, and the Waddle Dees and some of the other ones don't have any powers. I forget how to spit out the power too that you currently have. It make you like down, like a combination of down and B or something, or down and A. But I know you can spit it out and replace it with a different one. You automatically drop it when you get hurt too.
How do I get to start? Did I actually finish? Oh, I thought I finished a level. I was gonna get so hyped.
Yeah, so like the Waddle Dee guys don't actually give you anything. I don't know about the slimes. Spark.
That can be something.
Electricity. If I remember correctly, there's actually a handful of the sprite art things down at the bottom that are unused but still in the game's files. I remember watching an episode of something that was talking about that. And there's like certain ways that you can glitch through it and use those, but I don't remember what they were.
Can I infinitely fly?
I think you do run out of stamina at some point for flying, kind of like in Super Smash Bros, where you can fly for a certain amount of times and then you kind of like run out of.
What do I do?
I think you made it through the first level.
Hey! Yeah. First game I didn't die in.
What is that thing up there?
I don't know, but we're gonna go in.
I always forget how much I love the Kirby games.
Crane Fever. Use the buttons to move the crane and try to get a Kirby. A big one's hard to get, but worth it.
Actually, so this reminds me, the fact that there's so many, like, just off-white Kirbys. Kirby was originally planned to be white. Just an all-white character instead of pink. I forget exactly why they changed that, but I can look that up right now. No bonus.
No bonus.
Wah, 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 wah. Let's see. Kirby. Original color.
I like pink Kirby. I think it gives a good pop to the rest of the graphics in the game.
Yeah, me too.
Pew.
Oh, that's right. He was okay. His first game ever was actually on the Game Boy, Kirby's Dream Land, and so he appeared just white because it was the monochrome screen,
Before Game Boy Color.
Yeah. So he was originally planned to be that color as well, but then when he got ported over, he got
Wait, how do I kill this guy?
pink.
Oh my goodness. He won't die. And I have no attack anymore.
I think you have to suck up his bombs and then throw them back at him if you don't have a power to use. So when he basically dodge him until he throws a bomb, and then eat it, and then you can press the B button to spit it back out. I think you can also hit him with the air from like when you float like that.
Death.
Let's see.
Oh, here we are again. I swallowed it instead. I'm just gonna float until he throws a bomb.
There we go. Yeah, I do like how it turns it into a star, so you don't have to worry about trying to arc it at all. But yeah, I think that little like puff of air that comes out you can also hit him with, but I don't remember if that's actually the case. I know some of the later Kirby games you could. Huh. Apparently Kirby was originally named Popopo.
Popopo!
And the first game was titled Twinkle Popo.
You know what? I would buy it.
They wanted to go to something that would appeal to more of a Western audience, so like they tried a bunch of different names like Gasper.
I really like Kirby. I think Kirby's a cute name.
Yeah, I think they did a good job at deciding on what he eventually became. And yeah, I do think the pink definitely helps him be more iconic than if it was just monochrome white or...
Honestly, it appeals to more of a feminine audience.
I could see that, yeah.
Like, I always thought Kirby was just cute, so I'd always pick Kirby to play with on, like, all the games that I would play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that was the intention, for sure, but it definitely worked.
Yeah, there is actually
Died.
a kind of fun fact about that. When it comes to, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but on pretty much all of the Western release games of Kirby.
Western meaning American?
Yeah, and I think maybe European, I don't really completely know. I think it might just be in America. But like all of the American box art for Kirby features him with one minor change from the original, aside from like the text being translated into English. Mm-hmm. Every single one, maybe not every single one, but most of them have Kirby featuring angry eyebrows. Whereas in the original box arts for him, he just does not have those angry eyebrows at all.
No.
And supposedly they added those angry eyebrows into the box art for like the American releases, specifically because they thought like America likes violence and violent things, so we're gonna make him look angry. So this tiny little cute puffball, just to make it more appealing to American audiences, whether or not it actually does. They made him like go all John McClane on everybody and just be pissed off everywhere. It's just really funny to me. It's like one step below like giving him a gun, because Americans like guns, right?
No.
Those guys are annoying. They like track you down.
Aw. That's okay.
I do like how Kirby runs.
He dances in the corner.
And he gets... Oh! I never noticed that. When he's like... In, I don't know if it's just when he dies. Maybe it's also when he gets more
Ooh,
closer
I don't know
to
what
death.
I just did, but he spits.
Oh, you can spit out water. That's cool. I did not realize that. But yeah, when you died, his little sprite down there by the live counter was dancing even faster. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that and see if that changes as you get lower in health as well, or if it's just when you die. So that's a nice little touch that they didn't need to add, but I'm glad they did. I think one of my favorite Kirby games, aside from like Kirby Superstar. Whoa! 5,000, extra 5,000 points.
I'm doing so well, I'm so happy.
You're single-handedly redeeming yourself with this museum. Colorful display of enemies with special abilities. Eat the one you want.
Ooh. Alright,
There's a sword guy.
Is that it?
I think you might have to get rid of the one you currently have in order to eat them. Maybe it's further to the left or further to the right. Or maybe...
Maybe I just messed up.
You just murdered that poor sword guy for no reason. Yeah, I guess it's only...
I guess that was it.
I guess he was the only one available. Maybe because it's earlier on in the game still. Maybe there's other museum areas that you can unlock later.
There's still fire? I do.
Knife spark. The other Kirby game that I really, really enjoyed. I haven't played too many of the ones.
Oh, he was climbing the ladder. I was very confused as to what was going on.
I really like... Ooh, freeze powers.
Ooh, I'm blue. Oh man, my eye's twitching.
I was really a big fan of Kirby 64 because you could like combine. One, it was like semi 3D. It was like kind of a 2.5D, but you could combine multiple different types of power-ups. So like you can combine like I think electric and ice to end up getting like a refrigerator ability. You turn into a refrigerator and spat food out all over the place. I think you can break those blocks with the air. So if you float and then spit the air at them. Or you can eat them. That works too. Yeah, there are just a lot of really interesting combinations, so I can't wait till we get the N64 episode, because then we can play those.
More Kirby!
Oh, I think
now
he picked up his version of a Superstar. Oh,
Spikes. Spikes. Door!
Needle. So yeah, he does dance faster as you get closer to death. That's his little, please help me, I'm going to die jig.
Oh, is that where he's from?
Yep.
Is he good or bad?
I think he's technically the boss, kind of these games. Sort of like Bowser is to Mario, if I remember correctly. But he also does help out on some time, like... I think certain levels of certain games, he does end up helping you out.
Oh, alright, well, that was fun.
I like how the tree's entire face, except for his nose, disappears when you die there, too. It's like, yeah, he didn't need those eyes. Alright. Cool. Alright, one last game, and then I guess we'll call it.
Cool.
We're getting closer to the... Aww,
he's sleeping.
It's adorable. Kirby's Adventure. Yeah, so I think Kirby Superstar is another one of my favorite ones, which I think was Super Nintendo, which had like a bunch of different games, and then Kirby 64 I think is my next favorite one. All right, so we have a handful we could choose from. There's Castlevania, there's Zelda, there's Galaga, Gradius, Ice Climbers, Mega Man 2. I'm surprised they didn't include the first Mega Man on here. The original Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, which is also a completely insanely difficult game, from what I remember. I don't think I've ever actually played StarTropics.
Let's try that.
So let's see what this is about. Because the other games I kind of have more of an idea of what they are at least, so I can kind of... 1990.
It's late.
Wow. Yeah. The year after I was born. Prelude. One day in summer, you land at Sea Island where Dr. Jones has his laboratory. Oh, is this like an RPG? I think it might be. It certainly seems that way. Welcome to Coral Cola. Okay. There's a pig up there, and there's... Welcome to Sea Island. Guess that stands for Coral? Coral Cola Island?
Cora?
Mike, you're an ace pitcher, I hear. Show me how to throw a fastball sometime. And I guess that's my inventory that pops up down on the bottom.
Pig.
Oink oink!
Yep, sounds good. And then it turns around and shakes its butt.
Why? It's got the singular pixel for its butthole. Why did they need to add that detail in there? I'm Miss Coral, 1990. Do you think I'm pretty?
This reminds me of like an old-fashioned Sims.
Have you met our chief yet? He's waiting for you. Where? In here? Oh, it's supposed to be a hut, huh? Whoa!
Oh, he's a little chunky.
Oh man, waiting for you, Chief Coral Cola. He's had a little too much cola, if you know what I mean. And a good friend of your uncle. Listen, Mike, I have some bad news. Last night, try not to be too upset, but your uncle, Dr. Jones, has been abducted. Why are you talking like William Shatner? Why with all the pauses? We must keep this from the islanders so they don't panic. Best hope of rescuing Dr. Jones. No. No. It just does not let me say no. Okay, fine.
I think eventually, yeah, you just have to say yes.
Good, you're brave, take the star. You may think this star is just a toy, but it's very powerful. You're an ace pitcher, use it. You've got a star. That looks like a yo-yo to me.
I don't even know what it looks like.
Eh.
It doesn't really look like anything.
Monsters, tunnel, blah blah blah. I guess I have to go somewhere else before I can use the star. Can I show him how to pitch, though, now that I have it? I guess not. We're now at chapter 1. Cool. Interesting. I don't know what any of these people have to say to me, so I'm just gonna leave. Alright. So it's very like Final Fantasy-esque in that there's like the overworld you have to kind of walk around on top of and then presumably go to places. How do I get over to the cave though? Maybe I do have to talk to someone. Probably have to get a boat. That's probably what it is. Well, I wasn't sure what to expect from this, but apparently it's basically an RPG. One thing I do like about certain games is when they have like little random Easter eggs. Like if you hit no for a certain amount of times, when talking to somebody, it'll change the dialogue or something. I don't know if this one ends up doing it at all, but where do you come from? Americola. Okay, Dr. J, busy solving some strange puzzle. I just want a boat. Where's my boat? Last night I gazed up at the Southern Cross. Suddenly I saw many shooting stars. Moments of disaster. Oh me, oh my. Heard you were coming. Want to go fishing? Oh, I want a boat. Talk to everybody else. How do I get to the... Okay. I think I haven't talked to her, maybe. No? Yeah, she's the one that told me about the chief. What am I supposed to do?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the same dialogue.
Tunnel in the village. Okay. Where's the tunnel? Is this supposed to be it? Oh.
Apparently.
Apparently it's because I left. Hi there.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I do respect how they made like full like actual like 3D quote unquote art.
Yeah.
Using the pixel based graphics at the time, but like yeah, like stop waving your hand at me.
Looks like he's holding a banana.
It does.
He's waving a banana at you.
I'm not hungry. Get out of here.
Go away. Here's your banana.
No, I don't want the banana. I don't like bananas. Give me an apple or something. Refrain from turning power off or resetting.
Well, this is another game that has autosave then.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I guess it makes sense that a lot of like the RPG kind of based ones would have autosave, or the ones that had... I was surprised Kirby did though. Okay, so yeah, it's a yo-yo. I have a yo-yo. How is that a star?
You attack people with yo-yos. Or whatever those are, rams?
Slugs, maybe? It looks like they have stalks on their eye stalks. There's a lot of them here. Okay, so it's like a mixture of like Legend of Zelda and RPG style stories. That's interesting.
Did you just get bigger? Did your character just grow?
No, I think he's bigger because I'm in an actual area where I can like use the stuff instead of the overworld. This is gonna be fun. Alright, so the platforming's not too bad. No.
I like that, that's funny.
It's funny, but it's really dark for like an NES game.
He just turns into like a little angel.
Your soul just leaves your body and starts rising up to heaven. Yep, this guy definitely drowned to death. Alright. These guys actually hurt me if I walk into them, I'm assuming. Probably not insta-death, like falling into the water, but... I guess that's supposed to be a rat up there, too. Why does it spin around like that? What are you doing? You okay there, buddy? I also don't know why there's two of these platforms on like either side of the thing. There's gotta be a reason for that. That's gotta be how I get to the... Ah. There we go. Oh, come on. Yeah, the controls are kind of wonky. You have to like hold down in one direction for a while before you actually start moving.
There you go.
There's gotta be something over here though, too. Gotta be like a secret or something. Maybe they're just red herrings. Apparently they're just red herrings. That's
red
fine.
herring?
Yeah. Red herring is when it makes you think it should be important, but it ends up not being. Like in like detective mystery things, where like there's a suspect that seems like it's the person, and then it ends up being just like they were misleading you the whole time to make you think he was.
What is with this game and animal bugs? These like rat-like creatures, like they keep turning around.
Yeah, they're spinning like... You spin me rat round, baby rat round. Baby rat round. Alright, I'll be here all week. How do I get in there? Here? There. So it's like puzzle-based slash active kind of battle type stuff. It is very similar to the original Legend of Zelda in a lot of ways, just with more of like a overt storyline where like you can actually talk to people and do all sorts of stuff like that. Okay, over here. But a lot of it is very puzzle based, it looks like.
I like that element of games.
Yeah.
I like when there's puzzles.
Alright, I guess I'll go to the left first since it's the first one I opened. Oh, it's shaped like a skull. How spooky. And there's bats.
Just in time for Halloween.
Perfect. Ow. Oh. Well, I'm close to death. I don't remember if there were that many horror games for the original Nintendo. I don't know if Castlevania really counts. Is there really no point for me to come in here? Okay, that's cool.
Points? There's not even points in this game.
No, I kind of assumed it would be like
A life or something.
a life, or like maybe like a switch that I had to push to like unlock something else. That was just a dead end, like this room. I think there was like one actual like horror game for the NES. There might have been more, but if I remember correctly, it was Sweet Home, I think is the name of it. I want to look that up real quick. I think it was only released for the Famicom. I don't know if it was ever released in the US, but I think it was like a RPG style horror game. There's also nothing in this room either. I don't understand.
What was it called?
Sweet Home, I think? Alright, what am I supposed to do here? I am confused.
Sweet Home is a survival horror role-playing game developed and published by Capcom for the Family Computer in '89. It's based on the Japanese horror film of the same name and tells the story of a team of 5 filmmakers exploring an old mansion in search of precious frescoes hidden there. What is a fresco?
Kind of like a painting type thing, I think.
Yeah, you're right. A mural painting.
Yeah.
Ooh, I really don't like the artwork for it. It's really creepy looking.
Oh, yeah. Kind of reminds me of like a B horror movie style, like, poster. But yeah, I don't know if there were other horror games released for it.
There's an online version of it.
Huh. Oh no. Almost dead.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I think most of the horror comes from like the enemy designs and stuff like that, but I don't know how effective it would really be when it's like pixelated graphics like this. I'm sure you could probably figure out ways to make it work, but like...
Oh, this is cool. Hold on, random fact. Depending on how many characters remain alive after the defeat of the final boss, there are a total of 5 different endings the player may receive.
Man,
I like that.
It really blows my mind at just how much stuff they could actually pack into these old school games. Like how many different endings and just... What did that open?
Did they have ratings the way that we have like E for Everyone and things like that now?
I forget when those came out. I don't... They haven't always been around. I forget what the first game that forced them to do that was. It might have been Grand Theft Auto? Don't quote me on that though.
When did video... September 1st, 1994. Yeah, that's when ESRB started rating games.
Grand Theft Auto? Or...
No, it was...
I know it was in response to a certain game, but I don't remember which one. Are you kidding me?
It has a picture of a game. I just don't know what it's... Mortal Kombat.
Oh, right. It was because of the fatalities. That's right.
It was because of blood and gore.
Yeah. Which I think was censored in
Nintendo.
The Nintendo releases.
Nintendo removed the blood and fatalities.
I don't remember if there was a way to unlock those with a code or something, but I know the Sega Genesis one still had the blood and gore and stuff.
Do you have that game?
I don't think so, but I can look into how much it would cost to pick up. I also do have a kind of a NES Classic type version of Sega Genesis that has a bunch of pre-installed games. I might actually have it on, like, pre-installed on there, but I can double check on that when I get home tonight.
The ratings originally were EC, which is children 3 and over, and they were educational games. Then K to A, which is kids to adults, which is 6 and up. Teen, mature, and AO, which is adults only.
Yeah, and most places won't actually carry, like most physical stores won't carry anything above an M rating.
Yeah.
So like actually like this isn't really related to NES at all, but there was the one, I think that was the door that I went through that killed me instantly earlier, so I'm gonna just not go through there again. The original release of one of the Grand Theft Auto games, the one that had like the whole hot coffee controversy with the sex scene in it, that was originally rated
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
Was the game.
That was originally rated adults only, and then it got a M rating once they took out that sex scene. Even though, even in the original version that was adults only, it still was like near impossible to get the sex scene unless you actually hacked the game. Mm-hmm. Like I'm pretty sure the files were hidden. Oh no. Well, I died and she's waving the banana at me again. Don't despair, Mike. Under the Southern Cross, anything's possible. So automatically saved and sent me back to the beginning. Okay. Can't even exit? Oh, okay, weird. That's how you save, I guess. I like the pause screen a lot. He shrinks back
That's so
down and has a
cute.
little pause thing. Okay, I think that's basically everything for tonight. So, out of all the games we've played tonight, what would you say are your top 3? Or even the ones that we didn't get a chance to actually go to, if there's ones that you've played in the past.
So my all-time favorite game on this is definitely Pac-Man, just because I love Pac-Man and played it in the arcades as a kid. I liked Kirby's Adventure because I was actually able to make progress in that game. And
Well, it doesn't hurt that he's a cute little pink puffball either.
yeah, he's so cute. And then the last Super Mario Bros. Game we played with the way you can pick the levels and play like the little games in between. I liked that. That was like part of the evolving of the mini game, I guess.
Super Mario 3.
Yeah.
For me, I guess it's hard. It's a really hard decision. I think my top NES game of all time would probably... Oh, they did have it on here, Mario Bros. That's the one that, like that mini game that we ended up getting into, where it's in the sewage systems and everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's hard because I haven't played a whole lot of NES games, so I feel like there's probably a lot out there that I would really like if I actually gave them an honest shot. I think my favorite, my number one favorite game is probably the original Legend of Zelda. Just because out of all the NES games, that's the one I probably have the most memories of. And I just also really like the concept and the way that it plays. I think, honestly, if out of the Super Mario games, for my second choice, I'll probably go with Super Mario Bros. 2, just because it's such a weird, it's such an oddity in terms of Super Mario games to begin with, too, because it was technically a reskin, but it is its own thing in the Super Mario canon. So I'll go first game, Legend of Zelda, the original. Then Super Mario Bros. 2 for my second, and I forgot they had Super Contra on here, Super C.
57.
And then I guess, third game would probably gonna have to go with Ninja Gaiden. We didn't get a chance to really get to it tonight, but it's a really, as hard as it is, it's a classic one. So, those are my top 3. I think that's basically everything for today. So, on that note, next episode will be next week on Friday, hopefully.
Hopefully we'll beat the Atari.
And we're gonna try to get the Atari up and running like we were originally gonna have for this week's episode. But there is a survey, a poll that has all the different Atari games that we have access to. There's a link in the description. If you want to vote on that, voting will be open until this next Wednesday, probably around 10 p.m. I think. And we'll post the results of that, and we'll make sure we get to any of the games that end up being voted for the most in that before we move on to other games that weren't included with whatever time we have left. So, links in the description to both our Twitter if you want to follow us there, as well as that survey. And if you guys follow us on Twitter, make sure to either comment there or comment down below what your favorite top 3 NES games are, as well as any of your own personal histories with games or fond memories that you guys have of the system. And on that note, I hope you all have a great night.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining in, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.